Hey guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about the development process for youth athletes. Every year at this time, our winter sport athletes come out of their season with high motivation to improve their physical capabilities for, improving their sport. And, with that motivation, sometimes comes a little bit of impatience. And, athletes are really eager, but they're also sometimes impatient to get their development needs met really quickly. So they want to see improvement right away. And so when we poll our students at their school about their off season development needs, kind of a needs analysis for them, inevitably with our hockey group, it always comes back that athletes want to get stronger and they want to become more powerful or have better acceleration, kind of a first three strides kind of concept, and they want to get faster. So 93% of athletes always have those pegged as their top three areas requiring improvement. And so when we develop our templates for our team training, obviously if we have 93% of athletes that are trying to improve those three areas, we try to work to the masses for sure. And then if athletes are outliers, then we can make modifications if we need to. Um, but kind of getting back to the impatience, there is a process that takes place, and especially with our younger athletes, there are a lot of things that need to get shored up technically before we can get into anything that, let's say too much quantity of stuff that looks a lot like power and speed training. And so, I think a really good cinematic kind of depiction of the athlete development process, potentially a little slower than we can take it, but I think nonetheless a good depiction is the movie Karate Kid. And a lot of our younger athletes probably aren't familiar with that movie, but if you've watched the movie, haven't watched the movie, it might be good to watch. And if you have, you'll remember Mr. Miyagi makes Daniel do a whole bunch of tasks that Daniel has no understanding of. He became quite bored with them. And I think, most commonly these tasks are kind of known as wax on, wax off, because Daniel was required to clean the car over and over and over again and wax the car over and over and over again. And the concept in the end, Daniel found out that all the movements he was doing were laying the foundation for him becoming, reaching his potential as a karate combatant. And the idea was that he was doing all these technical pieces with these day-to-day chores that he found boring, to make him proficient one day, be able to do the movements with high speed, strength, and power, and proficiency and accuracy. And we can take that back to speed and power training with our athletes. They need to be strong technically in very, very foundational and basic movements before they're going to get really, really good at moving at super high velocities and moving with a lot of power. And that doesn't mean that athletes can't jump and they can't run from beginning stages. That doesn't mean that at all. But if a youth athlete needs to get faster and more powerful, all the time can't be spent on speed and power type movements. There needs to be a foundation laid in order for the athletes to, more appropriately, get to their end point. And at some point, the athlete needs to develop that foundation. So if they don't develop it now, they're going to have to probably circle back and develop it at a later time when they should be probably actually working on stuff that's happening at a higher velocity, or with more torque about their joints, or more tension through their contractile tissue. So another reference point we can use is something called Gentile's taxonomy, which takes us through essentially step-by-step progressions um, of tasks as they should be followed as we're going through the motor learning process. So I just wanted to leave that with you. I know some of the athletes are getting a bit twitchy and they want to be, kind of reaching their goals a little bit quicker than they probably will, or they probably are. But I think it's really important we lay the foundation first, and then we get to the fun stuff as we go.